Because I think for many of us, when we've been doing something for a long time, that thing can really become the identity. It can become who we think we are. And so when something happens that drastically shifts that, that's really quite a scary place to be. It's a very, very vulnerable place to be. And so, when we're experiencing that vulnerability, I'm so keen to kind of get into what does that actually mean? If something has happened, what does that, yes, we can kind of start using these methods and tools, but before we even get to that point, there's this kind of stuckness that we sometimes feel. And it's like, what do we do? How do we shift? How do we change direction? So often when we have that moment of, awakening or awareness, and we feel, oh gosh, we do have to do something, or something has happened to us, we often
Mhm.
find ourselves feeling very vulnerable, but in this sort of messy stuckness that it's very difficult to understand and navigate through. I have to share an experience that Sandra, when I met Sandra, she would just epitomized inner child and play to the fullest extent I think I've ever seen. Every day was new, every day was something beautiful, every day was something to, be grateful for. And she lives in the mountains of Colombia. So, there's a lot to be grateful for up there, and there's so much beauty. But I think that sense of playfulness and curiosity and creativity when we're on these journeys plays such a part into it, because we can take ourselves so seriously. So, being curious, just kind of getting into it and being like, oh, I'm feeling this way. Why is that? Or, you're mentioning having a dark cloud over you. Why is that? It's just sort of, instead of kind of sinking into it and letting it consume us, we let it, or our source, kind of beam out. Sandra, sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I was just thinking that when I was studying the philosophy of yoga and we got to the part of Lila, of play, I got very even more joyful because, yes, I have a strong inner child. And I go, there it is. There's my excuse for being a child. Life is a game. I love that. I knew it all along. Um, it's very important to keep that inner child, I think, alive. And I do this ritual in Colombia where indigenous women make this little baby out of cotton, and that's we give each person a tiny little figurine, and you hold it and you take care of it because as we're growing up, we don't know we have to take care of ourselves that way, right? We belong to our parents. And all of a sudden you're an adult and now you have to take care of you. And I was telling my kids last night, we're here gathered together, and I was telling them when I came to Paris and I was 20 years old, that's when I first realized, wow, I'm on my own. Like life is about me and I have to take care of me and I'm making the decisions for me. Um and that's when you start figuring out, that where do I get my courage to do this? Mommy has always held my hand, or my dad. Um so it's quite important to go within and ask that child and just let her know that you are part of it, right? It's the God within. We're all little goddesses and gods, and no one tells us that. And when we discover that, I think is extremely joyful, and is it adds to my play, to my game. um but in all seriousness, that's really, it's up to you. People that are signing up to listen to all of us speak is to take care of you, right? It's like we need questions answered, we need guidelines, we need mentors to take care of that. So yeah,
I
that's
think
about it.
that's a great segue to I know that your point is around yourself taking care of it, but actually, what else do we need? What are the kind of tools and approaches that we need to surround ourselves with so that we can nurture our inner system, which is our it and the I am, but also an outer system to really help us through this work, which, as we've talked about, is challenging and it's an evolution. It's not something which is fixed in a month or 2 months. It's really a lifelong commitment of getting to know the self and embracing that self with all of it. So, what are the kind of approaches that have been most meaningful to you throughout this journey so far?
Um, you mean how I approach the changes in my life?
Yeah. I mean, you've talked about it before in terms of meditating and yoga.
Oh, the
If there's
tools.
any practical approaches and tools which you could share.
Yeah, I think, like I said, when I discovered yoga, I said I discovered it in Hawaii because I went to my first yoga class and I took my first conscious breath, which meant Sandra, finally stood still because I'm very hyper. And I sat and closed my eyes for the first time and took that deep breath. And I thought, wow, I fell in love with it. Just like Gaia said, what is that? What is that feeling? What is that it? So definitely the studies of meditation, self-growth, yoga, all kinds of yoga, asana, philosophy. And also I think for me, saying yes to experiences more than saying no, because I think through experiences is how we learn the most. I'm very I don't want to stop doing that. As I get older, people are more cautious and I'm like, no, I want to keep on saying yes. I want to remain open because there's got to be a lot more and not be fixated in the idea that, oh, I got it. I know everything. No. Um, so I think the tools is that inner work. If you don't do your work, it's just not going to be easy. It's not is doing the reading, is doing the therapy, is doing the I think teaching also helps a lot because through teaching is how you learn. Um, and yeah, once you're in a class, whether you're teaching, whatever it is that your line of job is, we're all in this together. There's a saying that says, I am because you are. And I know Gaia and I have brought that up, but we are part of everything. And we need, it's very important to sharing your stories are medicine. And that's one of the reasons why I share my story, because I know through stories, it has helped me go through difficult times in my life. When I sit with my sister, I sit with someone telling me their story. It's incredible what it does to you. It really is. You feel like you're alone in your pain. You feel like you're alone in your trauma, and you're not. And somehow that becomes easier because you're not alone. You figure it out and you're not alone. We're in this together. So community is hugely important.
Mm.
Um, I moved back to my roots again because I felt I needed a sense of community that I didn't have back at where I grew up or where I was. Um, and it was a sense of community is highly important for me. And I think I can, evolve and deal with life a lot better.
Thank you. Yeah, so community and connection and that sort of continued connection with self through meditation and yoga. Thank you. So the light within, that connection to self, connecting to nature, gratitude, removing the obstacles, creativity, play, breath, all such wonderful tools that we can all start using if we're not already to continue this journey. I know that we only have a couple of minutes left, but I would love just to leave a few minutes if anybody has any questions for our wonderful panel before we close with some breath work with Gaia.
Just notice the way you're sitting and just find some comfort. Just that only takes a few seconds to find some comfort in the way you're sitting. Beautiful. And you can keep your eyes open or closed, but take a deep inhale through your nose. Nice and easy, all the way up into your chest, the best you can. And then open your mouth and just let it go with a sigh. It's like, yeah. Do a couple more like that. Just deep inhale in, all the way in, and just exhale. Let it go. Let that sigh come out with the exhale through your mouth. We're going to do a few more of these. Just inhale deeply. And each time you exhale, soften your belly with that sound. The belly gets soft. Again and again. And as you soften each time on that exhale, your face softens and even your eyes begin to get soft. And your forehead and your jaw is relaxed. And wherever you're sitting, whether you're cross-legged or not, just feel your inner thighs. They also relax and get soft. Just stay with this about 2 or 3 more breaths. That's it. And that wonderful sigh of an exhale, just the whole body begins to soften as the out breath comes with that sigh. It's like, just letting go. Yeah. And as you soften, just close your eyes and just listen to this song. Just feel this song coming in through you, touching you, inspiring you.
The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now.
Stay with the softness of your breath.
Power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. Let the water wash away your tears. Let the fire burn away your fears. Let the wind blow into your life such faith and trust. Oh, let the earth hold you, take care of you, nurture you. Oh, the power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you, me, is here to create magic on earth. Let the water wash away your tears. Let the fire burn away your fears. Let the wind blow life such faith and trust. Oh, let the earth hold you, take care of you, nurture you.
Beautiful, Gaia. Thank you. Wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day, evening. Thank you all for joining, and thank you so much to our magical panel. See you all again very soon.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Laura May.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Have an
you.
amazing day. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.